What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are, red day recap. Finishing the month with a small red day, down $1,400. And you know, as I was driving into work this morning, I was telling myself, there's a really good chance you're gonna have a red day. I don't think I was setting the intention I was gonna have a red day. I was trying to warn myself to go easy, go slow. Because yesterday was a small green day, the smallest green day I've had in a couple of weeks. And sometimes I notice that as my green days get really small, it's an indicator that the market is a little choppy. We're not seeing really good follow through in momentum names. It's a good time to slow down. So I trade with smaller share size today. Despite that, I still finished in the red. And of course, on the one hand, you could say, maybe I shouldn't trade today at all. Being red, well, would have been better to be break even. But the couple setups that I traded, I actually thought were decent. I thought there were good opportunities there, and they were worth taking a stab at. And none of my losses were big blowouts, which is important. I'm not giving back more today than I would make on one good, solid green day, and that's important. So tomorrow morning, we all start in the exact same place for the month of May. We start at 0, all right? And the goal for May, for me, is $40,000 of profit. Now, I'm gonna look tomorrow during our midday recap at my metrics from the month of April. What worked, what didn't work, and try to use those to gain some insights in how I kind of plan the month of May, what I'm going to focus on, what I'm going to avoid, etc. So stay tuned for the recap tomorrow. But as usual, we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, pre-market analysis around 9:15. So I'll see you guys there. And if you have any questions on today's recap or the month of April, leave them below. I'll come back through and answer them, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. All right, everyone, so we're gonna do midday market recap here, go over the trades from this morning. Today's gonna be a red day recap after 6 consecutive green days. A small red day here down $1,400. You know, today's a day where I thought I might be red today because yesterday momentum was very, very slow. I was able to get myself green, but only by $700. And I just sort of felt like because I'd had decreasing green days that oftentimes that results in a red day. And so I was really mindful of that. And what I didn't want to have happen was I didn't want to have a big red day. And a big red day for me would be, you know, 5,000 or more in the red. This morning, my very first trade was on SGLB. I was pretty patient. I waited for, you know, good quality setups to come to me. This one came up, hit the scanner, it popped up, there was a headline here at 8 a.m., popped up here from 65 to 70. I jumped in this, it was right around, where was it? Let's see, let me look at my order. I got in at 70. So I got in right here, 69, 70. It hit a high of 85 and then dropped right back down to 152. And so this is kind of the same type of thing that we were seeing yesterday with stocks hitting the high day momentum scanner and popping up a little bit and then getting rejected. You know, so we were having these like bearish engulfing candles where the red candle was bigger than the green candle. And so that happened on SGLB, and I ended up losing only $4.70, which is no big deal. Basically got back out flat. DGLY hits the scanners, only got a partial fill on this one. I jumped in right here as it was squeezing up. It hit a high of 533. I got in at right around 520, kind of did a little micro pullback, only made $52. So whatever, you know, that's basically irrelevant. And at that point I was like, well, this day is not looking super great. You know, my first 2 trades are basically break-even trades. Third trade was on TAIT. This one hit the scanner as well. And look at that, another bearish engulfing candle. This hit a high of 295, or was it 298? I didn't actually get in until this micro pullback right here at 480. And on this one, again, I got a partial fill. You know, I was like, well, you know, I'll take a stab at it and I'll add if it breaks over 5. But, you know, man, look at this. It hit 5 and then dropped right back down to $4.40 and then down here to 410. So lost $1,200 on that. Actually, with only 2,000 shares, I lost 60 cents per share from right up here down to here. So good thing I went with small size. And then OPTT, NOVN, I mean, these are just, this OPTT was right here, hit a high of 98, whatever, lost $21. Only got 700 shares on that trade. So that was a small partial fill on a small order anyways. NM, this one right here ended up being a small winner, scalping it long from here to here. Wanted to go short here, but didn't get filled. It dropped too fast. Another one that kind of ended up having high red volume on this candle. And then NOVN was just choppy. I got in it right here for the break over $1.30. It hit $1.30 and then it dropped all the way down here $1.15. I stopped out and then it rips up to $1.35, 36. So that was a little annoying, but it just wasn't working. So, today's a day where we just had, again, a second day in a row of very poor momentum, not a lot of follow through, and today I'm content to call it a day before I hit my max loss. I don't see this day going anywhere good if I keep trading. I did not have 3 consecutive losers at any time, which is good. I had actually kind of my first trade was a loss, second trade was a winner, third trade I think on OPTT was a loss, NM was a winner, and then Tate was a loss, NM was a winner, and then my first trade on NOVN was actually right about here, which was a tiny winner of $70, and then my second trade right here was a loser. So kind of like win loss, but just not getting good follow through. The gap scanner this morning was pretty much dead. Again, all of the stocks on here were higher float. And so as soon as I saw that scanner, I was like, well, I'm depending basically today on stuff off the high day momentum scanner, which sometimes works really well. But I think what we're seeing right now is that the overall market is just not giving us a lot of follow through. We're not seeing really big momentum. So if we go back, just go back a couple weeks, let's see. Let me just go back here. We had last week, we had a couple of days of some big momentum. Look at RBZ. RBZ, this is the day where it went from $10 up to $27 a share. Well, that ended up resulting in momentum that carried for several days because several of their stocks that started to pop up, traders were aggressive on, thinking this would be the next one to make a move. And, just kind of think, for instance, sharks. Day traders are kind of like sharks. We're looking for opportunities. We're quick to bite, ask questions later. Something starts to open up, often jump on it very quickly. And if every time you bite, you're getting a good piece of meat, you're going to be aggressive about biting. You're seeing other traders doing really well, you're going to, continue to be aggressive. But then at a certain point, you're going to start getting some fake outs. And, you go to bite on something and, you break a tooth. And I don't know, it's a piece of concrete that fell in the water. It's not actually anything, it's a rock, not a seal, so, that got you good. Okay, well, hold up, let's be a little more careful. You do it a second time, okay, wait a second, this is what's going on here. A third time, all right, maybe I'm gonna stop biting. I'm gonna wait for other people, to jump on something. And then, you just sort of see everyone being a little cautious, waiting. And the feeding frenzy will start again. And you will see a stock that starts to open up, it goes crazy, and we'll be jumping on it, and those will be the days where $5, $10, $15, $20,000 of profit. But in the meantime, it's very difficult because you just sort of have to be patient. On the one hand today, you could say I would have been better off just sitting on the sidelines. I thought there was a good chance I was going to be red today. As I was coming into the office, I was like, there's a good chance I'm going to be red today. I got to be really careful. And I'm glad that I didn't hit my max loss. I'm glad that I didn't have one trade right out of the gates that, with 9,000 shares got me for, $4,500 in the red. Did I give back a day of profit, 2 days of profit? Yeah, because the last 2 days have been pretty small. But my daily average is still 2,000 a day. So I'm not really actually giving back more than 1 day of good profit. I'm still going to finish the month up $40,000, which is terrific. And that's a really good recovery off of a pretty difficult March. March was a pretty bad month for me, and I was able to bounce back here in April and do quite well. So the name of the game as we go into May is, this is a new month starting tomorrow. We're all starting in the exact same place tomorrow, which is 0. We're all 0 on the month, and we've got our monthly goals. And it doesn't look like I'm going to have one of those great starts to the month where I'm going to be able to make $15,000, $20,000 in the first week, because we're not having momentum from April carry into May right now. We're basically starting May after a rough finish to the month of April, Monday and Tuesday here being pretty difficult for momentum traders, especially to the long side. So, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, have to take it easy. I'm definitely still green on April. I'm up 40 grand in April. So April was a terrific month. Hit my monthly goal, and I'm about $12,000 away from the $1 million goal. I'm sitting right now at $987,757. So this has taken a lot longer to cross this final finish line than I thought it would. This last 5% has been the hardest part of the entire challenge, even harder than the first 2 weeks with $583. But part of it is because of the psychological challenge of knowing I'm really close to this big milestone, and the other part of it has just been the bad timing that the market for the last couple weeks has been a little bit more difficult, and we haven't had a lot of home runs. My biggest winner for the month of April looks like was the day we had RBZ and CTRM, and that was the day I finished up 14 grand. So that was a terrific day, a $14,000 green day. Hey, one of those is going to put me right over the line, but we're just not seeing those big green days. We're not seeing since that day. We haven't seen really, really good follow through. Had a $6,000 day last week, 6,500. That was solid. A few other decent days here, but need to get a little more momentum. And if I'm not getting 15, 20, 30 cent breakouts, it's going to be a slow grind to get this last $10,000 to $12,000 locked up. So that's all right. It's just where I'm at right now. It's not really that big of a deal. Progress is just trying to finish the week with a little more than I started. And as of right now, I'm down, I guess on the week, I'm down 1,400 today, and I made 700 yesterday. So I guess I'm down about 700 on the week. Well, that's not a big deal. That's not even one decent trade. For a decent trade, every decent trade for me should be over $1,000 of profit. So I'll bounce back. If it's not tomorrow, maybe Thursday, Friday, finish up the week here with a couple green trades. Green on the week would be a good goal. But yeah, a little bit slower out there. So definitely a good time to exercise patience. I think I overtraded a little bit today. An OVN, I probably should have just left it alone. Here it is hitting 44. A little annoying. But the breakout, false breakout is a false breakout. Sometimes they go afterwards, and sometimes it's worth giving it another shot. But realistically, it's only up about 11 cents from the initial breakout spot. So we're talking about, for me to even have made $900 on it, I would have needed 10,000 shares. And then you're dealing with commissions being higher, the ECN fees and everything else. So it feels like I'm grasping at straws to try to keep trading today. And so it means that these bunny ears are gonna have to go on the shelf. So wore them for 6 consecutive green days, and now they're on the shelf, same as my raccoon costume from Halloween. So, well, if I wear an American flag or something on Memorial Day, maybe I'll be wearing that for a couple of weeks if I get a nice green streak at the end of May and into June. But yeah, it's just good to know the time to walk away, and it doesn't mean that if I didn't sit here for another 4 hours, there probably wouldn't be something that I would find as a winner. But is it really worth the energy and time to do that? And to me, the answer is going to always be no, it's not worth it. So going to lock up a small red day here, live to trade another day, be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Hopefully we have a better looking gap scanner, but it's probably going to require not just a good gap scanner, it's going to require a stock to kind of surprise us, you know, and be irrationally strong. Just all of a sudden, like, it's going to have to fake out short sellers, because right now I think short sellers are a little more aggressive, gaining some confidence with some of these drops that they've been seeing, which is fine. It's just part of the cycle of the market. When things start to be a little stronger to the long side, you know, we'll certainly capitalize on that, just as they're capitalizing on these short opportunities. But yeah, we need to get some pressure on the short sellers on a stock like an RBZ that just does something that makes no sense at all, like halt 7 times in a row going up. You know, and when we get it, we'll do well on it, but just a little bit of a waiting game, so got to be patient. All right, everyone, so that's it for me. I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Hopefully we see some good gap scanner opportunities, and I can hit a little winner on a gap and go trade. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.